2019, I approached Senator Bernie Sanders with evidence and testimony of a group called the Reich with ties to the CIA. As of this date, that intelligence has not yet been acted upon, and I've compiled the following video to show that the effect of my testimony was real. I have spoken with Senator Sanders, and I'm still waiting for action.
And let's welcome Senator Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. Thank you all. Let me begin by thanking the doctors, the nurses, and all of the staff at Hahnemann for their dedication and for all of the great work they have done year after year after year for the people of Philadelphia.
These epidemic events are getting more and more disruptive to health and to economy. And the reason we called it Event 201 is we knew eventually one of those days, one of those events would be the big one. And that big one would really challenge our capacity to respond. And to respond to the big one, we do need to have all hands on deck.
My fellow Americans, tonight I want to speak with you about our nation's unprecedented response to the coronavirus outbreak that started in China and is now spreading throughout the world. Today, the World Health Organization officially announced that this is a global pandemic. We have been in frequent contact with our allies, and we are marshaling the full power of the federal government and the private sector to protect the American people. This is the most aggressive and comprehensive effort to confront a foreign virus in modern history. I am confident that by counting and continuing to take these tough measures, we will significantly reduce the threat to our citizens, and we will ultimately and expeditiously defeat this virus. From the beginning of time, nations and people have faced unforeseen challenges, including large-scale and very dangerous health threats. This is the way it always was and always will be. It only matters how you respond, and we are responding with great speed and professionalism.
I wish I could give you better news, but I think you know the truth. And that is that we are now some 300 delegates behind Vice President Biden, and the path toward victory is virtually impossible. So while we are winning the ideological battle, and while we are winning the support of so many young people and working people throughout the country, I have concluded that this battle for the Democratic nomination will not be successful. And so today, I am announcing the suspension of my campaign.
We need to build better for the future. Many of the biggest cracks in our social safety net have been laid bare by this crisis. From health care to paid sick leave to the shortcomings of our unemployment system. And we need to build a 21st century safety net that takes care of all of our citizens in times of crisis. And I mean all of our citizens. Yes, in all times, not just in crisis. You know, we're going to need to address rebuilding our nation's infrastructure. We're going to need to shore up our democracy. We all have to know the clock is ticking. We don't have a moment to waste in combating the climate crisis. It's an existential threat to us. In short, we need to build a fair, more inclusive, more resilient America. And with that in mind, I'd like to welcome to this conversation a leader who shares those values and has been an outspoken advocate for that vision for a long time. My friend, Senator Bernie Sanders. Bernie, welcome.
Joe, thank you very much for your remarks, and thank you for welcoming me to your live stream here. As you've indicated, we are living in an unbelievably unprecedented moment. You and I were chatting a few months ago. Not in a million years would we have believed that we would be talking to each other in our respective homes, that we could not, do rallies, that we could not get out of the house. We would not have believed that we'd be looking not only at a pandemic, which, as you indicated, has taken over 20,000 lives in our country, 500,000 people infected, but has cost us 16 million jobs. And that's probably a conservative number. The real number is probably higher than that. So we are in a terrible moment, an unprecedented moment. And I know we share the understanding that we've got to go forward right now and out of this in an unprecedented way to address the terrible pain that so many of our fellow Americans are feeling. So today I am asking all Americans, I'm asking every Democrat, I'm asking every independent, I'm asking a lot of Republicans to come together in this campaign to support your candidacy, which I endorse, to make certain that we defeat somebody who I believe, and I'm speaking just for myself now, is the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country. A president, and you made this point, who downplayed this pandemic, who ignored the advice that some of his people were giving him, who has not used the Defense Production Act early on so that we could produce the masks, the gowns, the gloves, the ventilators that our medical personnel desperately need, who today, because I understand that is threatening to fire Dr. Fauci, who has been an unbelievable, who has been day after day the voice of science to the American people, trying to explain how we go forward in this crisis, and he's threatening to fire him. So to me, for all of those reasons and so many more, a president who apparently has never read the Constitution of the United States, who believes he's above the law, a president who lies all of the time, a president who has at least shown me that he is a racist and a sexist and a homophobe and a xenophobe and a religious bigot. I mean, for all of those reasons or more, we've got to make Trump a one-term president, and we need you in the White House. So I will do all that I can to see that happens, Joe. And I know that there is an enormous responsibility on your shoulders right now. And it's imperative that all of us work together to do what has to be done, not only in this moment, but beyond this moment, in the future of this country.
He calls those who oppose him vermin. He talks about the blood of America as being poisoned, echoing the same exact language used in Nazi Germany.
You know, people don't understand. Having a good relationship
Trump,
with leaders of other countries is a good thing.
We have a lot of questions to get to.
Not
That's
Your
like
response.
saying we had a good relationship with Hitler before he, in fact, invaded Europe, the rest of Europe. Come on.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joseph Robinette Biden, Jr., do solemnly swear.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden, Jr., do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
Office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr.
Thank you.
President.
Well, it's a great pleasure to welcome Chancellor Merkel back into the White House, and she's been in the Oval Office many times. She's been a great friend. I consider her a personal friend as well as a great friend of the United States. And we saw each other at the G7, and then we saw each other again at the NATO meeting, and today we're talking about further advancing strong U.S.-German relationships, which has been strong and is getting stronger. We have a full agenda ahead of us, so we're going to be meeting alone for a while, and then we're going to bring in some of our key staff. And one of the things that I want to talk about is the enduring friendship that the Chancellor has been so responsible for nailing down and making sure it continues. And we're ready to dive in. The cooperation between the United States and Germany has been strong, and we hope to continue that, and I'm confident we will.
Hello?
Hi, Senator Sanders?
Yes.
This is Richard Marin. I hope that you remember me. I testified to you in July of 2019 about the Reich. And I'm sorry to be calling your personal phone again like this.
You testified about what?
The Reich, the Nazi group in the CIA.
Oh, yes.
I was hoping to speak with you. I was hoping that you received my letters. I was hoping that you would be interested in starting that investigation that we talked about back then.
Well, thank you very much. I'll tell you what, it's been an incredibly busy time right now.
I've watched the news. I've been keeping an eye on the news, and I have a lot of information that I think could help a lot, not just on that group, but on a lot of the things that they've been influencing and doing over the past few decades, including things that are affecting the situation in Israel and Gaza right now, especially with regards to outside influences.
Okay. Let me do this. I am probably going to be going to Europe in a couple of days. Let me have somebody. I've got your number here.
Yes.
Why don't you text me, and I'll have somebody get back to you.
I will. And
Okay.
I just need to let you know I've been retaliated against a lot. I'm presently in Chicago. I've lost pretty much everything because of this. And I feel like protective custody as soon as possible, especially to be able to share the evidence that I've gathered, would be helpful, not just to me, to the situation. And it is unfolding. And I have to share with you, I was threatened by the Secret Service regarding an article I posted about President Biden. I have a recording of it. This isn't just imagined threat. It was a pretty clear threat that if I kept pursuing the line of investigation that that there would be consequences. I was told that if I came to Chicago, that was when it starts. And it started. I mean, there's a lot going on.
I can't go into it right now. All right, I've got your number.
Right.
We'll get back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bernie. Thank you.